Hello everyone, it is Satellite and welcome to Garen URF Ultra Rapid Fire. So we're in 2015. I don't know if this video will be still up in a year, but I think so. So in case next year's URF will exist, this is 2015 and it's gonna be Garen. Now, um, since I was thinking that Nasus was gonna go top, I started with my regular start, which is 5 pots cloth armor. At the end of the day, you guys are gonna see that I'm gonna get a very good Fizz top and a Katarina, who wasn't really all that great, honestly, but whatever. The real point of this, the real particular thing of this video is that I will I will pretend like, I will want to build Garen, like I would normally build him in a normal game. But by the end of the game, I end up selling all of my stuff to do crit chance Garen, which gets to about 90% critical strike chance, and it can get well over 100 in case you have the critical strike chance runes that I didn't have in this game because I didn't think it was gonna work like that. So I started going tanky. Then at the end of the day, I've realized that tankiness is not really that most it's not really the most useful thing, especially if I have a shield that reduces incoming damage by 30% once every 5 seconds, which is, and considering it lasts for about 6 seconds once he gets it to level 5, it just becomes broken. So it's basically like I take reduced damage forever. So that's that's pretty good. So it's not really that much of a useful thing to go tank. It's better to build damage. And this Malphite here is gonna go full AP and dominate. We'll prove this to you very quickly. It's gonna practically carry us to the win, even though at the end of the day I still do rather good in this game, and you're gonna see that. So I'm really excited about my Q being on a 2 seconds cooldown, because first up it's perma silence, which is ridiculous. Like, I don't know if you get it, but silence silence is something bad for many people. So it's a big advantage to have, and I believe that it's the key to victory with Garen in URF. So I was considering maxing Q first, but at the end of the day I will still max E because it crits anyway. So, but don't think you're going to see me you build critical strike chance anytime soon. It's gonna take a long time before I do that. So I get first blood on that Fitz because he was very good of a player, and in general of a Fitz player, and he had a skin, so it just makes sense to me. But he just got a little too overconfident, and as you can see, taking towers down with Garen like this, it's very easy. Now I mistakenly started with Ignite because it was my first ultra rapid fire game in my life, so I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't think the cooldown would have applied onto summoner spells too, because in that case, that makes teleport much more useful than Ignite, especially because you don't need a double chance on your ult. If you fail your ultimate, you're gonna have another one in about 30 seconds, and this was pre buff, because Garen got buffed in patch 5.7, and he ends up getting a lower cooldown on his ultimate, which is very nice too. So yeah. So yeah, so it's not necessary to grab Ignite in that situation. So you can just make your ultimate work, at least in my opinion. So yeah. What else? Well, so as I said, you're gonna see me play normal Garen and ending up not really satisfied with what happens. So I try to go magic resist now. So you're gonna see me build normally, and then by late game I'm going to get more a lot of critical strike chance. So this is basically what URF. So in this video you get the chance to see what URF would look like if you build tanky Garen, and how it looks like when you build Crit Garen. There are a few advantages in both situations, but honestly, in URF, I would recommend you build a critical strike chance Garen. It's just overall funnier to do and funnier to see for your allies and your opponents. Just looks fun because you keep smashing that sword into your opponent's bodies like constantly and quickly, because this URF also gives you a lot more attack speed from your items. So yeah, you can kind of see that I go completely hamless Katarina because silence is so good. Is really that great. And Malphite wants to help, but unfortunately this Fizz had Ignite, so he ends up being very dangerous to me, and it's just so you see I build an Hex Drinker. It's not even something I would normally do, but I mean in this case it just works too well. So you guys see that I from the beginning I really had an idea of going for a lot of damage, but honestly that critical strike chance is ridiculous. You get an Infinity Edge that gives you all the AD you need for your scalings to do the rest of the job, especially because your Q can also crit, which is just amazing. I don't know if you get it, but so yeah, I killed the Ziggs, and it's just overall, as I said, it's just overall nice to have a Q on a 2 seconds cooldown, though it's not that great unless you land it, because if you land it, like, if you land it, it goes on cooldown, but if you don't land it somewhere, it does not go on cooldown, so you end up without a movement speed buff. You do get this Katarina just completely jumped on me, like for me to hit her, but whatever. Let's just not talk about that. So, well, in this, since we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Crit Garen in normal games, because there's not much to say about it now, because I'm building normally. My plays are all the same. It's fairly similar, really. So there's no point in me talking about something you guys probably already know if you're not new on this channel. And even if you're new, I mean, it's obvious that Garen gets build tank and all that stuff. Well, maybe not so obvious, but well, whatever. You get the point. You get the point. So, Crit Garen in normal games. Would I do it in a ranked game or something like that? The answer is no. I would never build critical strike chance Garen in a ranked game, because critical strike chance is because it has the same flaw that AD Garen has, and in general that does not work. Like, you become too squishy and you end up dying really, really fast, which is not good for someone who needs to get close to his opponents. Now, I guess I'm probably wondering, well, if I'm not supposed to use Crit Garen in normals, then why the fuck would I use it in ultra rapid fire? Well, the reasons are these. Reason number one is that you get more attack speed from the items you build, and since practically all critical strike chance items give you attack speed, you get the point. I think you get the point. So there's that. The second reason for this is very simply that in this game mode, your Yomu's Ghost Blade and your Q have a 2 seconds cooldown. Well, Yomu's Ghost Blade doesn't really have 2 seconds of cooldown, but the way it works is that if you use it, it goes on cooldown already. So the amount of time you have to wait once its effects are done, finish, is just about 2 seconds. So it's with 2 movement speed buffs, so easy, so fast to use, and so effective. There's really no need at all to like almost no need at all to flash, and you can also do that in this game mode because you have your flash and the possibility to engage. So with 2 movement speed buffs, it just works. The reason number 3 is the cooldown on flash. 60 seconds of cooldown on flash means that you can use your engage a lot more often, and you can potentially engage an enemy a minute. And since all of your abilities also get a cooldown of very, very, very low cooldown, it seems obvious to me that I missed my ult right there. That was so bad. Yeah, you're not gonna see great quality gameplay from me today. So the way it works is, just the flash allows you to engage so many times, and since your combo will almost always be up when you use it, it's almost always a guaranteed kill. So you basically play Garen like an assassin. You build him like an assassin, and you play him like an assassin. So it works. It just works. So as you can see, I'm still building normally right now, and I'm 6-3-6, so normal Garen still works in URF. It's just all about the cooldowns, right? It's not really about the build. But trying a different build in URF just makes Garen work a lot better. I should really try AD Garen in URF. I'm not sure if it works, but since crit chance Garen works, I guess it probably does work as well in that situation. So let's get back to what we were talking about. I think I'm done with reasons why Crit Garen is better in Nerf than in normal, because you just get it's easier overall. It's easier. It's a matter of fact, and I doubt you can really make me change my mind. It's how it works, really. So yeah, about crit. So that's one reason why I wouldn't recommend playing it in ranked if you want to win the game. If you want to win the ranked game, and it's obvious to me. It's really obvious to me. So what else? Let's see. In a normal game, though, you can probably play Garen in the crit chance. Why? Because your E can critical strike, and if you manage to get an infinity edge rather fast, you get the opportunity for your E's critical strikes to deal the normal amount of damage that they would deal. Now, I'm not sure about this, but if I'm not mistaken, critical strikes deal double the amount of damage they would normally deal. And the Infinity Edge makes them deal 250% of the damage they would normally deal instead of 200%. Now, the E, Garen's Judgment E, can crit, but its critical strikes instead of deal 150% damage instead of 200%. Now that means that if you have the Infinity Edge, your Judgment will get all the way to 200% damage, which is the normal amount of damage the critical strikes deal. So you basically put your Judgment into a very, very risky zone for your enemies, because since you will get a lot of attack damage from this build too, you will scale a lot pretty well in the late game on kills, because you will just devastate enemy teams with critical strikes. And since a Last Whisper is included in this build, you can make it work. You can make it work. So you will be able to completely penetrate their armor and then get kills thanks to the great amount of damage that you will deal thanks to your ability scalings being amazing. So yeah, let's get to the point. Let's get to the game now. So I would definitely recommend that you try him out in normal, but only try him out. Like you can probably do it with tanky masteries, because in this case, that's what I was doing. I was playing in tanky masteries, and I was focusing more because at the beginning of the game I was concentrating more on tankiness, but it's I don't know how to put this. It's weird. I'm not sure if you should go AD because if AD Masteries, because if I'm not mistaken, even if you work on 2190 or 3000 in Masteries, you still don't get any more critical strike chance. And since Crit Garen is really only about critical strike chance, it's not really necessary for you to to work on that. So, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I think tanky masteries can work, and the reason why that is, it's very simple. You can just Garen gets a passive boost on his armor and magic resist, as you guys know. So even one armor item can make the difference. So you can pretty much it is possible for you to build a Guardian Angel or a ZZ Rod Portal and get the ridiculous amount of magic resist and armor that I practically have now. Because if you count my armor and magic resist right now, it's about you get 30 from the Spectre Scowl and 25 from the Mercury Strat, so it's about 85. So we'll just simplify that to 80 or to 90, just to make the calculations more simple. So 20% more of that is about I think it's about you know what, let's just make this calculation a lot more simple as well. Let's count the runes and the masteries bonus armor and magic resist that I would normally get. You get about 100 to calculate from, so 20% over 100 is about 20 more. So instead of getting 80 armor and magic resist, I get 100. So or 120. Instead of getting 100, I get 120. That's a ridiculous amount of armor and magic resist. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. It's a ridiculous amount of armor and magic resist for one single item. It's 120 armor and magic resist, and if you build boots that that also give you defenses that can grow up even higher, which is just too good, too good. So as you can see by now, I'm 11-4-0. Now you're gonna get to see a pretty decent amount of deaths because I'm going to try focusing Fizz and end up getting destroyed by him because, you know, it's Fizz and he deals lots of damage. He used to be broken. I think it's gotten a lot better, a lot more balanced lately after a patch, but I still believe he's broken in Earth because he has the capability of becoming untargetable and escaping too many times. So yeah, what you're seeing right here is Teemo. I had a Teemo on my team, man. Fuck me. So Teemo trying to, you know, escape from Ziggs, and Ziggs being dumb trying to chase him. It's Teemo, dude. You don't chase Teemo. Everyone knows that. But whatever. This Teemo was not kiting him anyway, so whatever. Let's just take that. So what you saw a little bit before is me taking a tower and an inhibitor on my own. That's because my Q has a 2 seconds cooldown. So as long as I use it, I practically got double 140% of my AD every 2 seconds. That's a lot of damage for a Structor. So in Earth, Garen becomes a very good split pusher, and you're going to see me do solo Baron later in this game. So you know that it's something that you would normally expect someone like Tryndamere to do, you know, stuff like that. But you know, even if I'm not Tryndamere, I managed to do it here. So yeah, as I said, I was gonna get a lot of deaths, but I've still managed to kind of get a few kills too. That's pretty good because the gameplay would have gotten a lot boring if I just died. And this Karma here just calculated perfectly. This guy's Panic of 5 is a friend of mine. We play together very often, and you know, I know his style very well. So what I'm gonna do here before I go crit, by the way, is I'm gonna try using Hydra, because the last time I checked on the patch notes for that item, my Garen's Judgment was supposed to apply its passive. Now honestly, I tested this and it does not apply it. I mean, maybe it applies it and I can't see it because I'm spinning, but it looks to me like it doesn't apply it, and that's bad because you don't get the lifesteal from your E, which is something that you would like having, and you also basically waste a slot for an item because, you know, the lifesteal on someone who doesn't use basic attacks, really, that's not that smart at all. So you know, you kind of get the idea. So yeah, but at least you guys are seeing that I'm trying to change my build because I've seen how ridiculous things were, and so I decided to just go ahead and test a few new things out. So as you can see, my Q does apply it, but my E doesn't apply it. I mean, you see, just applies it, but the E doesn't. Like, what the hell? And why the hell does it work this way? It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. See, it doesn't apply it. And the reason why it doesn't make sense is because, you know, it's supposed to do it. It's supposed to be applied. It's what the patch notes say. Though there is one thing that I would mention here, is that if you press 1 to use the active of that item while you're spinning, Garen starts auto attacking, but it keeps spinning. So what basically happens is you cancel the spinning animation, or well, it continues, and at the same time you can auto attack, and after you auto attack you continue to spin. So what this means, and it's very simple, what this means is that you get the possibility to auto attack while using your E, and that's ridiculous. That's plain. That's just amazing. If you get what I mean, you know, it's just amazing. So you know, it's just now. I don't know why my ultimate didn't go off here, but it wouldn't have really changed much anyway. So as you can see, I'm trying to complete the Hydra because I thought, well, maybe the Tiamat does not apply it and the Hydra applies it. So I tried to do it. Spoilers, it does not apply. So if you guys hope to try this out, it doesn't work. If you want to jungle with Garen, you're gonna have to use Bami's Cinder as a key item, and well, we're gonna talk about that in another video that I am planning. But you know, that's one point. So yeah, um, so I'm trying to get this Hydra to work, and it won't. But you know, it's an item to keep in consideration for trying to use E and then one, like or in general, you use your E and then you use your key, the key that you would normally use to use Hydra, and that way you can easily um, auto attack while spinning. I'm not sure if this works every time, or it was just a bug that happened once. But I mean, when it happened, it just looked amazing. This Katarina just flashes out as soon as she sees me, and I swear to God, this happens so many times in normal games too. I swear to God, like for real, because people once Garen gets fed, people get become afraid of him like man so much, and I've missed another ultimate here. So this is the time, guys. You guys are about to witness the power of Crit Garen. Now you probably watched videos on YouTube of Garen being built for full critical chance, but I don't know if it was like full critical chance. This is completely full critical strike chance. So I'm going to sell all of the items that do not give me crits except for Guardian Angel, and then I'm going to start going in and kill a lot of people. It's amazing because the amount of damage that you deal is just huge. It's huge, huge. I'm not gonna lie, it's really huge. So I've changed my mind here because I thought it was too drastic of a solution, but I'm going to do that. It's gonna take a little while more. I'm sorry for the wait, guys. I'll probably put a link in the description to skip the whole normal part of the game so that you guys can get an idea of what you're really interested in a little faster. So I'll probably do that, and boom, Nasus goes to hell. And I'm gonna try getting Fizz, but that's just stupid because Fizz is able to become untargetable forever. Lucky for me, my Q gives me a speed boost for the whole time of its activation, and I am capable of dealing the damage that I need to deal a lot easier. So as you can see, I think I'm gonna kill this Orianna easily, and then I'm gonna go on with the Katarina, even though I don't kill her. But yeah, I think I'm just rambling over the game right now because there's not much more to say here. It's just you probably can try Garen with the 80 masteries and try this build out. And as you can see, we're going to stop trying to do Baron. I'm going to keep going, but I'm going to understand that it doesn't work, and I'm going to get killed. I think I die to it because when I try to escape, I won't die. Alright, well, even better. Less of a shitty figure. But I remember myself failing hard in this game, so I'm not sure if it was this game or not, but I think there's a big fail in this game, and you guys are probably interested in that too. So yeah, once I complete my Infinity Edge, my damage bumps up really, really high. It goes over the sky because my E starts quitting for like real. And then I get a Brutalizer for Yomu's Ghostblade, and that allows me to get more armor penetration. So in total we get 35% armor penetration plus flat 10. God, and I failed the flash due to minions, and that's the big fail I was remembering. So yeah, it happened, guys. I failed so hard, and I'm probably gonna unsubscribe and flame me or whatever. So well, whatever. I'm going to. You see, my crits deal a ridiculous amount of damage. It's huge. It deals so much damage, and since the E can crit, it's just this is amazing. Look at this. Boom. See ya. She gets a great kill on Teemo. Great. She gets a decent kill on Teemo. And then boom, she explodes like that. And silence. Oh yes, get fucking silence, scrub. That's one of the great moments, and they happen so often with Garen, that people just go close to a wall after you've silenced them, convinced that they will be able to flash, and then they can't flash. And I love that. So here I'm still trying to spin and using my auto attacks and my Q, but I realized that it's really not necessary to spin. you end up really not needing the spin when you build full Crit Garen. That's one very nice thing, because you get so much attack speed and so much critical strike chance that spinning is nice, but it's not as nice as spamming your Q in URF. Now in URF, that's one thing. In normals, it's probably still good to spin, but in general, I still think basic attacks are one of the best means of damage for Garen. So here, I think I make the last decision. I sell my items, and I work towards Last Whisper, because that way my crits can go through the enemy armor and allow me to deal a ridiculously high amount of damage. And you're gonna see that in a while. I'm going to also check out my character stats to make sure that I get more critical strike chance. And as you can see, my crits are ridiculous. This Nasus has a lot of armor. He's gotten a Thorn Mail and a Randuin's Omen, and I completely destroyed him. Completely destroyed him. And at the same time, I'm still tanky, because I'm Garen, you know? I'm not just like one of those Tryndamere guys who are only tanky when they get a lot of sustain thanks to lifesteal, and they end up, you know, life-stealing the shit out of people. But this is ridiculous. That's why Crit Garen can work, because if you get a decent amount of tankiness from an item that gives you both armor and magic resist, you are capable of you are indeed capable of making work, of doing work with the even against enemies. So you know, Last Whisper definitely is a way to get a better damage output in late game, but I generally prefer to support my team with the Black Cleaver, because the Black Cleaver, you know, it allows you to reduce the enemy's armor so that it gets reduced to a degree at which the armor penetration that your carries have becomes really, really, really consistent and you know, considerable. So yeah. At this point, I'm going to continue selling my stuff to get more critical strike chance. So I go build, I think, a Phantom Dancer first, so I ignore collisions, and I sell the Spirit Visage 2 because I want to get a Guardian Angel. And I don't care about losing the health, because the amount of magic resist you get from a Negatron Cloak is basically the same you get from a Spirit Visage, so I do lose a bit of health, but since you can level, you can keep going up on levels in this game mode, because you have, you know, you can go all the way, I think, to level 30. You don't need to be so much health, because you're gonna get it by leveling up normally, so, you know, it's really worth trying. So this Karma friend of mine was thinking he was actually hitting the blue buff. Then he realizes that he was hitting Fizz, and things go bad for him. So yeah, as you can see, it's about 3 or 4 seconds of cooldown for Yomu's Gauss Blade to work, and I'm able to run again, but I don't activate it here because I'm just too dumb to remember about that. And as you can see, my crits are ridiculous, because I've gotten about, I think it's 337 attack damage, and at this point, I think I've gotten about 80% critical strike chance, which is ridiculously high. It's a very high amount of damage, and as you can see, this Fizz didn't expect me to just completely destroy him like that. Like, if your Q crits, what happens is, look at this, you attack so fast. That's partially thanks to the boost that you get from the URF mode. But you know, you get what I mean. It's a ridiculous amount of damage. Like, I spin here, but I probably could have done it without spinning, and I was so concentrated on trying to kill that freaking Nasus that I ended up dying again. So as you can see, my critical strike chance is about I didn't see that to say to you, but you guys probably read that. So my critical strike chance starts getting a lot higher. Now I sell my boots because I am thinking, well, I have a lot of movement speed from Phantom Dancer, because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it does give you movement speed. But it's, you know, so you get movement speed from Phantom Dancer and from what is it called, Static Shiv. So there's no need for boots. Yeah, boots give you more like in a number, gives you a movement speed in a number, which is good because that gets multiplicated and scales with the movement speed buffs that you get from your Q, your Yamus, the passive of the basic stats that you get from Static Shiv, Phantom Dancer. But I still find I still find having more crit chance more useful in this case, especially in URF, because in URF you get such a huge movement speed buff that it's not really that necessary to get boots anyway. So yeah. Now game's about to finish, so there's not much more to talk about. It was overall not that great of a gameplay because it wasn't about me, it wasn't about Garen this time, it was about URF and how URF looks on this weird character, because it's weird to play full crit Garen like this, but it's still very fun nonetheless. So this karma completely, oh god, if he just had to shoot one of her karma skews on that Katarina, but whatever, Timo got her anyway. So yeah, by this time, once I complete my static shiv, I get about 90% critical strike chance. I've gotten 85 now, I think. So it's still not quite 100%, but it's still amazing. Like, it's just great. It's just great because you can use your Q, and if your Q crits, it's just so much damage. Like it does a flat amount of damage plus 100%, 140% of your attack damage. How cool is that? It's so cool. So yeah, I flashed over here just because I want to go try doing solo Baron now, because I tried earlier and it didn't work because Baron was too strong and I didn't have as many crits and damage as I have now. And as you can see here, these minions just completely, I wanted to try this out. Look at this. Look at this. It's just ridiculous. I completely one-shot them. 1, 2, 3. That's so stupid. So fucking stupid. You can do this in normal too. Get it? Like, if you do it, imagine what happens if you do that. I can easily imagine people going mad, like not being able to believe what happens. But like, it's look at this. Look at this. That's fucking Baron health, guys. I'm one-shotting this guy. He's almost half health now. Look at this. Look at this. God, this is ridiculous. I'm not even using my Q because it's not necessary. Look at this. That's ridiculous. Like, Garen is not the type of champion that you can do solo Baron with, but this is just ridiculous. And I've got 179 armor and 181 magic resist. Isn't that ridiculous for one single defensive item? And try to imagine if I had built ZZ Road Portal, who gives you even more defensive stats than the Guardian Angel does. It's stupid. Boom. See you later, Fizz. No, by the way, we will not see Fizz later, because once we kill this Nasus here, which is probably who they were hoping to get, we will win the game because they surrender. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It was very particular. I hope I'm going to be able to record one similar of Crit Garen in a normal game, but I don't promise this to you. I think you'll see Jungle Garen before that, and I'll probably add both builds to my MOBA Fire guide for you to try them out if you want. So yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys have enjoyed URF, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.